Hey guys, so I'm in the doctor's office waiting for my doctor. But I want to do this video. Went to Dr. Umar's event. He talked about black marriage, black love, and the whole purpose of it. So he said, don't get married for money. He said, because when it's time to get a divorce, nobody wants love back. They want assets, they want houses, they want cars, they want alimony, they want 401ks, child support. Nobody wants love back. So if you was in a marriage 20 years and you got divorced, you don't want your half of love back. You want money. So I started thinking about my marriage, and I said, yeah, well, for me, when I got married to my husband, I told him, listen, I need somebody to help me take care of my kids. I love my husband, but that's not the glue that's holding me and my husband together. See, marriage is a business, right? And it's a union that you and your husband or you and your spouse come together to be able to now come up with this business plan on how y'all going to build an empire, right? So the purpose of getting married, guys, is to now further the agenda of your culture or of your community, right? So whatever I know and what me and my husband know, we now have to teach the children this, right? So I did the family structure of the king, the queen, and the prince and princesses, right? So when we get married, there has to be some substance. Love don't pay the bill, right? Love don't buy the house, right? Love don't get the car. Love don't get the rental property. Love don't get the rental property, okay? Love don't get the vacation. Love doesn't, okay? So you may love your spouse, but that's not why you should marry, right? You should marry because there's an agenda that you need to further for your community and your race so that your children can now do the same thing. And this is what's called generational wealth. There's too many black marriages that are falling apart. There's too many single mom households, right? Because they don't want to further the agenda of the community, right? We need to stick together like glue, for real. And money, finances, is going to keep us together, right? So a lot of marriages break up because of money. Yeah, you may still love your ex-husband, you may still love your ex-wife, but that didn't keep y'all together. Okay, so we got to get out of this mindset and this mind frame of, oh, I love him. So what? Can he provide? Can you provide? Can y'all bring y'all funds together to be able to now put your children and you and your spouse in a home? Can you put your money together where y'all can go on trips and vacations? Can y'all put your money together to invest in properties or get some kind of business going? That's the point, right, of being married. Right? So think about that. I know a Chinese couple, and she was saying that she was like, I love my husband, but if he ain't got no money to pay this mortgage, baby, love out the door. And it's the God's honest truth. I told that to my husband too. I said, if I ain't got half of this car insurance this month, baby, you ain't gonna love me. You ain't no love. Oh, baby, you know I love you. No. So guys, stop getting married for love. Love don't pay the bill. Love don't bring in no money. Love the kids. Love the kids enough that you and your husband will come together and have a good business decision or a good business plan on how you're going to further, right, build the empire and build the legacy, right, for the next generation. Love can't do that. Only money, only finances can do it. And then you guys come into an agreement. That's why, I told my husband, like, we got to be friends. Right, we got to be friends first before we be lovers, right? And then business partners, or we got to be business partners first, then friends, right? And then we could be lovers, right? Because a lot of women just let the man, the dick get to them, and then they forget about the friendship, and they forget about the business partner part. Boo. Sex gonna be there. I'm not a sex fanatic, okay? Sex gonna be there, baby, but that money, honey, that need to be made every day. Bills need to be paid every month, year after year on year. So don't get married for love. It ain't worth it, believe me. Because the divorce rate in the black community is so damn high. That's all because people was loving each other and they wasn't really coming together to further the black community. They wasn't really coming and putting their funds together to build a legacy. It wasn't really coming together to build, a foundation for the next generation to grow up, so they can further the black community and build and grow and go win and get out the struggle. So don't get married for love. Love pays no bills. So go to jointanisha.marie.com.